Alright, so today I decided to do sort of a brief campaign as a Soviet Union on the road to 56 mod. I think it's going to be, it's not going to be like a great, really long campaign, just because, we're going to mostly focus on just being Stalin and stuff and trying to defeat the Germans as soon as possible, as quickly as possible, more rather, because, just doing the standard stuff there. Because I don't think that it's gonna be actually that difficult. Early game, the Germans aren't actually that strong. You can just kinda do your thing, and it should be swell. At the beginning, like right away, you probably want to build as many civilian factories as possible. So that's usually how it works with the Russians. You really need to get your economy booming at the beginning. Just gonna do a bunch of that because I don't really care about the Navy much at all. Hearts of Iron. I know some nations like really need it. For example, Britain really needs a really good navy. But for the time being, I don't think it's actually that important at all. Gonna select these guys and these guys, and probably not gonna go to war with Xinjiang at the moment. So don't really need that. I'm gonna give him to probably gonna get rid of Tukhachevsky. So just gonna promote this guy right away. Why not? He's a level 4. Just gonna get a cheeky front line going here and an offensive line like this. Gonna give him the strategic redeployment. Actually, we're gonna grab our tanks. Gonna give him just this guy for the time being. Spearhead here. I don't really know if that's like optimal or not, but so I'm probably not gonna be like as optimal as possible here, just because I don't know, it's mostly just a campaign for fun. I like playing the Soviet Union because in the early game the Soviet Union is probably one of the more interesting factions to play, because as Germany usually just try to build up, and then you have focuses that let you just capture everything basically, and it's not that difficult. But as the Soviets, you don't really have that much option, because basically your army is in shambles, your economy is totally fucked, and your overall situation is not that great. Man, they remilitarized that real cool. This is on road to 56 mod, and it's only 35 days. Road to 56 mod, and it's just, I think it's a little bit more fun to play in the road to 56 mod as the Soviets, because actually it was a terrible idea. What am I doing? Okay, gonna grab our best tanks. Gonna give him to our Georgie here, and we're doing that just because when the Spanish Civil War breaks out, you will want to send those divisions to Spain, basically, to the Republicans. So at least have some way of defending themselves. We could try and boost the communists in France, but since this is non-historical, they usually tend to go fasci. So at this time, I don't think it's actually that important. Probably gonna go with the Great Purge. Yeah, let's go with the Great Purge right away. We want those debuffs gone as soon as possible, and we have to go with the Great Purge. Otherwise, we're gonna have to face Civil War, and that's never fun. Well, unless you like to play really, I don't know, I guess a boring game. It's not like boring, but it's kind of difficult. Like most of your military is just completely wrecked. Most of your industries are really wrecked very early in the game, and that's not a great way to play. Otherwise, if you were gonna go for the Civil War, you might as well have gone for the Trotskyite coup, which does give you some interesting buffs, but it does give you a lot of debuffs. Your national unit just goes down a lot, and your political power is completely just fucked. But let's get Khrushchev. But you can start pretty much justifying Poland right away if you go with that tactic. Might as well actually, there's one thing that's sort of a sort of 50-50, like either you're gonna support the Republicans like, right away, or you're gonna attack Poland right away. Usually you have to choose between one or the other. We might try and just start justifying Poland right now, but we do want to get our partial mobilization as soon as possible. Pretty much just, you know, that's what you're gonna want to do with your first political power. Argentina seeks advisors. Well, I've never actually got this message before. Let's just send them advisors. Like, who cares? Maybe we'll get some army experience from that. So is Argentina going coming on me? That would be actually really, might be actually real good for us. Let's see, what sort of resources does Argentina have? Whatever. I don't know. Who cares? Wait, where's actually Argentina? Was I even looking at the correct? Oh yeah, this is Argentina. Oh my god, I'm fucking stupid. So resources. Oh, they have some oil, but they do have a lot of tungsten. Might be useful, but the problem is if we actually manage to boost your production properly, then you should be self-sufficient, like for the most part. Let's kill Tukhachevsky, because if we weren't going to kill Tukhachevsky, there is no point in promoting that other guy. Let's boost Stalingrad. Not that. That would be, I mean, that would be alright, but it would take a while. Let's do this. I'm doing this because you want to have as many civilian factories as soon as possible. Actually, some people prefer subdivisions. Or yeah, this. Probably not gonna go to war with Japan. I'm gonna probably just, you know, not gonna play for that long. Don't think so. But might as well just, you know, draw the line, I guess. Even though, I don't know. Hopefully not gonna go to war with them that early, but in the Road to 56 what usually tends to happen, they actually usually manage to kill off, not even kill off, they manage to just like puppet China really early, which is kind of interesting. Like in the base game they pretty much never manage to do that, or they just fight a really bloody war against China and then lose. In Road to 56 mod they fight a very quick war against China and usually win, because China gets a terrible debuff right here. Like, oh my god, it's just awful. A lot of really awful debuffs. I've never actually played as China that much. I never found it to be that interesting, because I mean, I suppose if you get rid of the debuffs, like through something here, then it would be quite an interesting game. But since Japan is quite aggressive, let's get rid of the Navy and Air. Yeah, whatever. Would be quite, I guess, quite an interesting game. Whatever. Still no civil war. Usually tends to happen around this. There we go. Gonna immediately send all Georgie here. Send volunteers. There we go. And this is pretty much the only way that Republican Spain can win, or at least the only way I experienced the Republican Spain managing to win. Because the AI is absolutely inept and can't hold their own at all. So you're gonna immediately go for Zaragoza because you really want the Republicans to have that area. Really don't want to fight in this area because it's absolutely terrible to fight in that area with tanks. And the best way to beat the Republicans is with tanks. We get rid of the Great Purge. Great, gonna finish the 5-year plan. Just to get the industry rolling. Okay, so managed to go for kind of an encirclement here. Gonna finish off these divisions because the Republicans are absolutely inept. I know it's sort of harsh, but I mean they are. They're just really terrible. I mean, I guess I get it. You know, they aren't supposed to be that good, but I think they're just a little too bad. Well, obviously, if like the democratic nations and the Soviet Union manage to support them, they can be quite useful. They usually just suck, which you know, story of my life. My allies are always terrible. But if you manage to get like a really late Spanish Civil War, then this can be actually a little bit difficult because the Germans can actually manage to build up their force quite a bit by that point. And if they manage to send in like really good panzers at you, then it's gonna be kind of hard. But at that point, you probably have a really large army. So you know, the later the Civil War gets, potentially it gets harder, but usually it gets easier for the Soviet Union because you get rid of a lot of the really ugly debuffs that you tend to where's this guy? Oh, why is that guy here? Oh my god. Go and support your little comrades there. Have they? No, they haven't grabbed their goes nice. Gonna go for that. That's it right there. Burgos, whatever. Right, so what we want is this. Where's it? Oh, it's not here, is it? It's this guy, but we haven't gotten him from through the focus tree yet. So what we want to go for is probably, it's not gonna help much. Anything here? Probably Captain of Industry because we're making a lot of civilian factories. That's gonna help quite a bit. This guy. Attack those fellows right there. As I actually can see Japanese divisions, so the holding on that's terrible. Try and push for here. What we might actually do is unite both these the tank divisions there, and then just try for a massive encirclement, or at least mess up the fasci front lines, because that would be great. That's being built. Yeah, let's try and research that very early, because the earlier you get that the better. So where? I guess here. Let's flip that around. Nice. Soviet Republic. Okay. Can't release that yet. We're not gonna do that yet. Gonna wait for Zuko. And let's see. Gonna go for this one, I guess. Wait for Zuko with that. Let's try continue our encirclement. Puzzle. Nah, fuck them. Who cares? Let's go for. So right here is kind of interesting. You could go for Lenin cult and get rid of these debuffs you get right here. Actually might want to go for that. But also, you might want to go for this French-Soviet reapproachment, because it tends to be one of the better focuses. Because I'm not playing on historical. Well, the Germans haven't. Oh, I guess the French deny that. That's brilliant. I haven't actually seen that ever happen. Oh, the wonders you see. Yeah, so the fascists are gonna be really weak right now, because they haven't yet rearmed the zone. And we might actually try to flip the French to be commies, to join us. That would be really good. It's a bunch of Japanese divisions, that's why they're holding on. They're a bunch of Italians. So that's another reason why usually the Republicans lose really terribly, is that the nationalists just have a lot of fucking support from basically everyone, which that's obviously not great. Just gonna try and cut these guys off. That would be really nice. Well, that didn't work out too great. Zaragoza holding on, Madrid holding on. These guys are encircled, that's great. But the Republicans tend to be completely useless, so hopefully they manage to do that. We're gonna kill a bunch of Germans here, that's nice. Immediately for another attack. If you encircle these divisions, it's really good. You pretty much have nothing to pierce your armor, or at least usually they have nothing to pierce your armor. So managed to encircle like 3 divisions there. It's okay. Might try to go for like a southern push here. These Japanese divisions really not holding that great. They have nothing. Great. And just encircle a bunch of these divisions here. Great. Trying for that port there, that city there, more rather. There goes still. Yep, we're holding there. Ooh, Anschluss of Austria. Nice, nice, nice. Let's try and flip the French. Go for that city there. So once your tanks get rolling, let's circle there. Because usually you just capture all these areas, and then the nationalists or then the AI just step in and do your dirty work. I've lost there goes. But usually these areas tend to be plains, and plains are really good for tanks. So yeah, we should have a really easy time just going through here, just sort of messing up the lines of the fascists. And doing a bunch of encirclements, trying to beat as many of them down as possible. Gonna have to try and liberate Zaragoza now. Because we lost Madrid, seriously. Man, these guys are useless. So try and encircle these guys, that'll be really great. Great, managed to do that. How's it up? What are we gonna do now? Could go for division training time, because we can't really go for it. Maybe actually industrial concern. And our industry is becoming quite nice. That's pretty good. Stalingrad's okay. That's okay. Guess we could just, that's not what I wanted. Could just build up Moscow a little bit, because our industry there is quite good. Have a bunch of divisions here, so they can go to Poland. Let's control our mighty tanks here. Trying to cut him up there. This attack's not gonna work at all. Because now over the river, the tanks will have a nice and spicy debuff. So really don't want to go through there that much. There goes still holding, trying to retake Madrid. To retake not this tank. There's always one tank that just gets stuck. It's just these. Okay, whatever. Let's just go with the 4. I'm gonna stop my advance just for one tank. Okay, stop attacking. The AI. Or maybe I'm just terrible. Actually, that's more probable. Let's try and circle those guys. Good. Now I'm gonna go for. I'm gonna go for the Lenin Colt. Yeah, and just going all over the place. Just trying to. Oh shit. Circle here. I probably managed to push out. These guys will just attack there to immediately resupply these fellas. That'd be great. Yep. Unite. I tend to prefer having united force here. You know, some people just disperse their the tanks when going through this whole Spanish thing. I haven't really found like a preferable thing, but I like having a united force because you can basically punch for anything. You can war again before the war right now with the Japanese. That would be terrible. Yeah, whatever. And then the Republicans are losing quite a significant amount. Usually they manage to hold their own quite a bit, but right now they're just doing terribly. They're just getting pushed back everywhere. Okay, whatever. Try and just, you know, take and help them as much as we can. They immediately retook Madrid. Go for either of these. Let's go for that. Let's attack. Can we do that? No. Well, we could, but no reason to. It's not help much. Could go for that, but don't worry. Let's go for two. Just gonna do that in a while. Not now. How we go? Yeah, we're actually managing to push them back quite a bit. Nice. Let's just try and mess up their lines. Take that city. Actually, it's kind of interesting that Madrid is not like capital. So let's go there. Actually, hopefully don't get encircled. Shouldn't though. Well, we are encircled, but hopefully manage to push out. Come on, come on. The AA is absolutely useless here. Come on. Don't lose tanks. That would be terrible. Okay, managing to push through. Okay, managed to push through. Good. Immediately gonna try and retake Madrid again, because why wouldn't we? And these AI are really aggressive. Okay. So, well, we have a lot of political power, that's great. I don't know. Go for infantry. Much more. So let's try and gain justifying on Poland. They're being guaranteed by Romania, but that doesn't matter at all. So we can just take him up both. Let's go with education. And let's build up our industry a little more. That's great. No, not that one. Here, here. I'm gonna actually start. I still have 3. Nice. Gonna start and making more military factories from now on, because we do have a lot of civilian. As the situation stands right now, come on, gonna have to retake Madrid, guys. Because there's a lot of industry there, and the Republicans do need it. They're actually managing to push out in the south quite nicely, so that's great. Gonna try and push through here, just to encircle these. There's not many divisions to encircle, but still some. Could try and destroy them, but it's kind of pointless right now. There we go. Go for there. They immediately retake it, but what's more important is that we slow them. They actually aren't attacking while they're retaking these provinces, so that's great. You also can just immediately destroy them while they're encircled, because, you know, they can't even kill you anyway, so while they're in case you manage to encircle those guys, that's pretty good. And I suppose it's time to attack the north now. Babysitting the Republicans is really a wonderful thing to do. But it's usually what you have to do with pulling the Soviet Union. When you're playing the base game, it doesn't actually matter that much. You can just let them die. But here, 56, for some reason, D axis tend to be really powerful when they have Spain on their side, so that's really here. Push through there, muscle militia, nice. Education, let's go that way. Just because you get a lot of debuffs, like the proficient disease, like deficient defense minus 10%, it's really bad, so I'm gonna get rid of that. We can, the tanks, we're not gonna bother with that yet. Some of this. I'm gonna need those guns, you know, it might seem like I have a giant surplus, but I'm really gonna need those guns. Right. Can we research that? Not yet. That. Immediately try to go for an encircle up there. Just like that. Okay, so those guys now immediately took it back. They have the horse divisions, like that's nothing against me. Really? They're actually managing to hold? They're actually piercing? Or is that just temporary? Yeah, it's just temporary. Oh, that's mountainous, obviously. Should be able to push through though, like, even though it's mountainous and all that. Really, we're not? Oh, we are. This game is just stupid like that. Okay, whatever. I'm gonna attack those guys instead because they're on a plane. And on a plane, tanks are unbeatable by infantry. And there we go. So we're doing, pushing quite nicely into them. Political divisor, there's nothing here that would be... We could go for national unity, but we don't need it right now. Army regrouping, recovery rate plus 8%, actually pretty good, so let's go for that. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, let's go for that. Let's grab that port, because that's usually where they get reinforced by all the various friends that they have. Tend to place the Germans. No. Civilization's done. That's great. Go for social welfare. Just to pump. Actually, might want to try and guarantee the Czechs. Because when the the Germans inevitably are going to attack, or are gonna threaten to attack Czechoslovakia, when they attack we can just immediately strike Germans without having to wait. Forget about radio, goddammit. Without having to wait for like justification and stuff. This whole area, well, actually no, they have still took Madrid back. God damn it! Like, how is it even possible? Those guys are out of supply. Let's just kind of sweep up here, go from behind. These hills, man. Fighting in hills of see, told you. Those guys out of supply, that'd be great. This took a long time. But the Republicans are finally managing to push them back, which is great. At this point, even if we're actually not going to manage to justify and pull it in time, like, yeah, there we go, nice. So that's that. These guys should be communists right now. Yep, can't invite them yet. Hopefully they won't go democratic. Sometimes what happens, yeah, they're gonna go democratic. God damn it! But at least China, yeah, who gives a shit? Actually, god damn it, I'm gonna have to supply the Chinese now. Actually have a lot of army experience, so that again, start land lease. We have a lot of guns. Is there a difference? Like, which one are we producing? There's something I never know about the 4040, so I guess we're gonna give them that. Yep. Start land lease, guns. This just gonna give them like fucking 45%, who gives a shit. And these guys into this guy can delete your orders. Yep. I'm gonna give him to Zhuko. It's there. Zhuko is just gonna have the same orders the guy had before him. Just this spearhead just to cut off these guys is actually quite useful, I found. Then we have veterans, that's really nice. And we can now... yeah, it's gonna wreck our production of them, but it doesn't really matter. They are now in their own faction, great, because if they weren't, you know, if they weren't going to be in their own faction, they could actually join the allies, and that would be potentially really bad for us, but they, you know, thank fuck they didn't. So I'm gonna go for recon company, and with the tanks we're gonna go for just the same recon. Gonna go for artillery? No, we're not. And could give him another light tank just to make them a little bit bigger. But I don't think that's no shit. Then save. Jesus. Engineer, recon, save it. There we go. When we're gonna unlock the I don't even know what it's called. The tank guys. Don't have them here. Access to checks. Immediately gonna guarantee them. And yep, I think that should be good enough for now. So, thank you guys for watching, and see you next time.